part of how I educate myself is I have some poems I've written that are like about I has hardly about my experience living in the U.S. as it would, but it's also just like it also kind of like a lot. So some of them go more into like the system and how the system is like honestly not helpful. So I guess that's and that's just one. This is supposed to do one. I'll just talk about one example. So
my girlfriend's mom said that I wouldn't be able to drive, so I have my license. And I went through Oregon driving school.
One way I advocate myself is helping to make a stop for people by my work to make it more accessible for them to get to my office. I look for adaptive rec.
One time I was going to McMinimans with a friend of mine, and I was having ride stores drop me off because I can't drive anymore because of my brain injury, but ride stores, the only place they had to drop me off at McMinimans downtown was in the back, and so I then had to drive my chair from the back up the ramp they have for the disabled to just the patio area, and I tried driving from the patio up to the front of the restaurant to go in to wait with my friend, but when I started trying to make my way down the patio, I realized that they had patio tables and chairs that were all in the way of actually being able to make a beeline to the front door, so I had to call the restaurant and then ask them if someone could come to the back of the restaurant to assist me in moving the chairs over so that myself and other disabled customers would be able to make their way into the restaurant to actually eat the food.
A time that I can remember that I advocated for myself is with my ear. I have really bad ear problems, and a lot of doctors won't really give my attention, or just there's nothing really going on. And then when we finally got a doctor that actually listened, he actually listening to my concerns and what's going on, and hopefully there's something's going on to actually figure it out. So, yeah.
One time that you advocated for yourself was when? I don't know. What about when you were a kid at the ARC and they told you that you were growing out of the ARC? What did you tell them? Thank you, but I want to stay. What do you do now there? You volunteer. Now they have a lot of adult programs, but now you do that and you want to volunteer at the food bank there, right?
Well, there's a lot of times, like, I had a mother that wasn't very, well, I won't go into it, but I just told her I'm a human being and you really can't stop me from doing what I want to do. I mean, I'm an adult and I make my own choices. Yep. And nobody can make them for me. Nope.
Okay, I got John in the group home when he finished high school. And I went to 2 group homes. I went out and went to OSLP. And the other group home I didn't like, but OSLP I really liked, and he's been there, he's 35, been there ever since he's 19, so yeah.
When another teammate of mine on track says you're gonna you lose all the time, and I said, he's just gonna eat my dust.
Okay, I was living in the apartments in Eugene for like 2 years, and I got tired of it. I wanted to move in with my friend Larissa and Jason, and I did, and that's probably the best time I advocated for myself. I realized I make the choices in life that I want to make.
I'm a person with disabilities. How I got work was I went through bulk rehab, and I went through them twice because I have 2 different jobs, and it's because I'm saving for a trip to go to Disney World, and so that's how I got my jobs.
What do you do?
One job, I'm a janitor, shop hand at a car lot and mechanic shop with it, and then the other one is on courtesy at Safeway.
Do you like your work?
Oh yeah.
How I found my work, the book we have, and then Mackenzie put helped me with it, and then we kind of like I had an interview with them with the U of O. It took a while with the U of O, but eventually, because they had to make it from scratch kind of, but I was really within it with the what we have and Mackenzie personnel with the whole situation. So yeah.
Can you say what your job is?
Oh, my job is on the front desk of the City of Human Development Bureau.
We're gonna try to get a decent job. That way I don't have to get a better job like working at a store, so I don't get discriminated against, like not have to deal with bad customers and have to deal with employees. So I'm on the verge of getting a different job, a better job, to better myself.
What kind of work are you looking for?
A kind of job where I'll be able to help others and draw from my own life experience of having a disability, and I hope to help others with disabilities to be able to get better lives and just enjoy themselves, because life is for the living.
I got my job through Vogue Rehab. I was there after I lost my job at Lane Community College after 17 years working there because of the pandemic. So I had to get a new job, and I work at a hospital.
Yep.
And I'm a caregiver, and I help people, and I love my job.
Work. How do you find it? I'd say Dave finds work by seeing what other people are doing, and when he sees something that looks really fun, he'll give it his best shot. Like he just became the director of this clip. Cut. Show him the sign. Cut.
So currently I'm an assistant director for a play from the Life Stories, a class that we're currently on production on, and and this is not a job, but it's a volunteer job, which is not a paid job, but it's something like I love doing.
but I have found a place where I feel like I belong in Eugene. I found the Soramundi Lesbian Chorus of Eugene, which is a choir for lesbians, where I was able to connect with other lesbians in town who also experience the same amount of prejudice that I have because they live in the same place I do. But that's where I belong. That I found is
One that Rusty didn't mention was we do Special Olympic sports. And the Unified that we do with U of O is our Special Olympics. We do sports with them, and it's usually intramural sports. The other one, as Rusty already mentioned, is People First, and a new group that I'm going to be probably hooking up with is Trips Inc. I'm going on a trip in November.
Nice. Jim, is there any group where it's not for people with disabilities where you've found a place for you?
My work at Lou Glutz, those guys like me a lot.
Now, because what Jim and I do, we don't just go out there to play soccer. We go out there.
to have fun.
We go out there to have fun, and we also mingle with the students. They became our friends, and then it's just an opportunity for the students to learn a little bit more about our disability.
I'm on board with Full Access and with the CAC and with People First. And at the art studio.
I went to a workshop by something called ICO, which stands for the Institute for Unity, Leadership, and Data Time. But they were doing poetry and on violence leadership workshops based on Martin Luther King Jr.'s teachings, and that is the first place I actually started writing poetry, and part of this thing was everyone was highly encouraged to read their poems. So that's first time I read my poems. I remember the first time I read one, it was extremely hard, because especially the time, and even sometimes now, I sometimes have some problems being able to like say things. So yeah, and he with people just always accepted and loved me, and it was, and he was in me, and high writing, and it was very good. That definitely changed my life.
okay, people with disabilities are able to pursue their dreams by utilizing their resources, such as I used to have the dream of living on my own, and so what it took me doing was I used to do speech therapy here at the U of O, and my head speech therapist that I was seeing at the time found out that there was an apartment complex in Eugene which specialized in helping people with with brain injuries, and I got a severe traumatic brain injury in my motorcycle accident of '09, so I had to then go through my therapist to learn about the Yule Horn, which is where I found an apartment, and we signed up, and it took years, but they were really wanting me to move in, so they actually renovated an entire apartment for me, making it ADA.
So back in 2019, I went to the Friends Committee on National Legislation Conference, which is it's a non-profit lobbying group where we lobby Congress on issues of war and peace, and I I was able to go there with the support of my mom, and it was a process because I decided to first of all do something called a unit committee, which is it's a biggest thing when you have a group of, we had a group of 3 people who helped me understand if this was something I was called to do. We decided that it was, so.
I'm an artist. I draw a lot and paint a lot. And a lot of my pictures are out there.
One dream I got to get my own place. My big dream that I'm trying to pursue is one day I want to be a tribute artist, help people with disabilities pursue their dreams. I love Elvis. I like his music. I like his style. So I ended up getting my own jumpsuit and ended up getting a guitar. So I've been wanted to be a tribute artist. I've done that and I enjoy it.